Yeah, hi everyone, welcome to Emsley Lodge for another week. Absolutely freezing here this morning. I don't know how cold it is, but it's pouring rain and windy and terrible. We're inside. What did we have? We had an ordinary week last week. I reckon we sent about 5 horses to the races, 4 horses to the races that were all half pie chances, and they all for different reasons went a bit disappointing. So, yeah, frustrating week this week. So, quite a few of those horses might even back up. They didn't do much last week, so they're race horses and they're to race, so they might back up this week. So we'll have a look and see where we're going to run them. Warrnambool Friday, got a horse called Jonii Diamond having his first start. I tell you, if you have horses that are difficult to train, this is right at the top of the hill. Yeah, he's had a few tendon problems, he's had immaturity problems, he's had a million problems. I don't think too many riders that have ridden him track work haven't fallen off him at some stage. He's a bloody difficult horse to train. All credit that he's even got to the races with Jason Webb, our track work rider, because a few other work riders have just pulled the pin and won't ride him again. So he's a pretty horse. He's done everything right. His trial was okay the other day at Colac, so he's ready to go to the races. So that'll be Jonii Diamond having his first start at Warrnambool on Friday. Lulu's Choice goes to Gunbower. She's only won one race, Lulu, and it was at Gunbower last year, so we're back in the same race. Hey, what about so she's won one race, this horse, and the horse that ran second to her is in her race on Saturday, so they'll be battling away again against each other. So, look, she's, she needs to win a race, doesn't she? She's run a few placings and that sort of stuff, but she's been battling. So, goes back to Gunbower Saturday. She should hopefully can draw a gate and give herself a bit of a chance. So, but I think she's going okay. We're going to try training her out of a paddock. She's been in the box for a while, so try see if training out of a paddock can squeeze the lemon a little bit and find another length somewhere, and hopefully she can be competitive on Saturday. That's Lulu's Choice. Cougar took her up to the bush the other day and she was terrible. Her attitude at the races was poor. She raced accordingly, didn't really want to go. With the start before that, she sort of bounced and went really well, and just probably knocked up second up. So she's be on the quick backup at Gunbower Saturday. Lowly graded race. Not sure whether I'll run her yet, but I'll certainly be accepting with her, and the quick backup might even just suit her down the ground. But she was very poor the other day, and but her attitude at the races was pretty poor, whether she was just coming into season and had an off day. So we'll give her the benefit of the doubt, and we might back her up this Saturday at Gunbower. That's Cougar. Miss Gossip Girl. Now, she was horrible the other day. She was heavily in season and was so naughty in the enclosure and nearly dumped the jockey gun to the barriers and then jumped out and half took off on the ride. It was just absolutely horrible. So we got her, we threw her in the paddock, and we were going to sort of see where her future lies, and we couldn't get her into a sale. So she might just get a quick reprieve. So she's been running around the paddock here for the last couple of days. We worked her this morning and she was nice and bright. So she might be on a quick backup and end up find herself at Gunbower on Saturday. I'm not sure yet, but look, she was just terrible. Her attitude was horrible last week, and she was never going to win a race doing what she did. So you can see she's pretty relaxed out here in the paddock. So a couple of days off might do her the world of good, and we might even back her up at Gunbower until we can see where her future is going to be with us. But anyway, that's Miss Gossip Girl at Gunbower on Saturday. Murtoa Saturday, Steely Hustler, got her in, nice little race for her. This is the first time in a long time that she's actually in a race that is her grade, and I know she'll be competitive in, so she'll be a big price. Hopefully she can draw a gate, bounce out, we'll be up on the hammer for a fair way. I think she's going pretty good. She's for her. She's just been running in races that are out of her grade. And this is the first, this is the first time in a long time that she should be back in a race that's where she can be more than competitive. So that is Steely Hustler at Murtoa on Saturday. Big Huey goes to Murtoa on Saturday, an 1100 metre race. Needs to draw a gate there. Good front running track, Murtoa. He was probably, I took him down to South Australia over 900 metres, and we got ourselves a real heavy track, and you probably didn't want to be hard up against the fence. There may have been a few excuses, and he was on a quick backup, so we'll just see how he is. But I wouldn't mind trying to get this horse. I've won the sprint race at Dunkeld a couple of times, and I reckon Huey's probably as good as the horses I had going there. So I'll go to the 1100 this week, and then I might go to a 1200 the following week. Then we might have a go and taking him to Dunkeld, and I reckon to be the perfect horse around Dunkeld. So it's not a dissimilar track to Murtoa, so I'll see how he gets around there. 1100 metres, that should be okay. He's we gave him a nice little gallop through the week, but his track work's not all that good, this horse, but he's nice and healthy and well, and he's a pretty happy horse. So that's Huey at Murtoa on Saturday. Hey, buddy. That's it for another week at Emsley Lodge. Thanks for watching. Absolutely horrible here today. It's freezing cold, windy, raining, everything, you name it, we've got it. What have we got? Take a couple of horses up the bush on the weekend. A couple of them need to pick their game up. They're sort of struggling. So run them in some really lowly graded races and see, have a roll of the dice and see how we go there. What do we got? Turnbull Stakes Day this week. Interesting one. You know, every week we're sort of giving a few stats off, and it'd be interesting. A couple of favourites are really getting exposed with these stats. Even this week in the Turnbull. Now, Fiesta has drawn barrier 1. There's only been one horse in the Turnbull in the last 30 years, and that was Northerly back in 2002 or something. That's won the Turnbull from barrier 1. So it's an interesting one, isn't it? Like only one favourite in 30 years has won out of barrier 1 to the Turnbull. Head up to Sydney in the Metrop. Now, there's 18 runners in the Metrop, and probably tells you a little bit about Australian breeding, is there's only 3 horses out of the 18 that are Australian bred. So the other 15 runners are all imports, that they're buying these expensive horses out of Europe, bringing them over and trying to win our staying races. So the breeders need to get onto the game. If you're going to have stayers here and win derbies and oakses, there is none. There's just not. They're not competitive. So that's probably where our breeding sort of has gone in that same race. You know, of the 18 runners, Chris Waller and Kira Maher have got 10 of them. So they're just absolutely dominating all the staying races in Australia, those 2 trainers. So interesting where the future lies for that sort of stuff for stayers in Australia and trainers in Australia for that matter, if all the big races are getting dominated by 2 trainers. Interesting future. Until next week, see you later.